Hello ladies and gents, welcome to Mortal Ring Wars, and if this is your first time tuning into our channel, you've turned to Joseph in a monumental moment, as we have this on our hands. This is not a bunch of government warehouse storage boxes that might have the Ark of the Covenant inside, but it is something like 7 Hot Toys that we've accumulated over the last 2 years, something of that, at least since 2 Christmases ago. And we're going to be unboxing these, showing off the art boxes, showing off the figures inside, probably where they're going to end up in the collection at some point. But that's what we've got on our hands. We've got medium-sized ones, big ones, small ones, all kinds of fun to look forward to, so stay tuned and let the excitement begin. Right, Apostles of Mortal Ring Wars, this is now out of the box what we've got dealing with. To start, right here front and center is this massive Spider-Man from No Way Home. It's the deluxe version. It's got a crazy big base on it that's got Doc Octopus's arms, and it's just a huge figure. We kind of came across this by luck. There's another on the table here that we could get free if we bought a purchase over $300, and that's what we chose to get with it. So very excited to get into that one. It's going to be quite the mammoth on a shelf, so I'm very much looking forward to opening it. Going around from that, we have Laura X-23 from Deadpool and Wolverine. The sculpt on this one looks fantastic, and I imagine it's going to have quite a powerful shelf presence as well. Even, sometimes you think that the more simple the figure, the less it's going to have as much of an impact sitting on the shelf, but sometimes all it takes is a good look and a good costume, and it has just as much presence and personality as a massive one like the Spider-Man over here with a big old base and a whole bunch of bells and whistles. So I'm sure it's going to look fantastic once it's up and posed. Now, the freebie we got for getting the Spider-Man was this wonderful Boba Fett 2-pack from The Mandalorian. You get him in his robes with the Tusken Raider gaffy stick, but then you also get him in his worn out armor from the scene where he, killed like 24 stormtroopers and was just all around the cool Boba Fett everyone wanted to see again. The other one I'm very excited to open up. I've been planning on how I'm going to pose this for ages, so it's got a bunch of fun accessories, and I wanted to try to implement every single one into the poses that I come up with the base, so I'll be excited to show that off once I get to execute that vision. And then speaking of big figures with big bases and shelf presence, we've got this wonderful Loki from the end of Season 2, holding the strands of reality and time together as we know it. Just watched an interview of this one, or a review. It looks very well done, very colorful, lots of intricate parts, so it is one that's probably, of any of these, is going to have the best shelf presence. So very eager to get into that one. And then the last two we have over here kind of go together as a pair. We've got Ahsoka and Baylan Skoll from the Ahsoka show. This is Ahsoka the White, kind of taking her Gandalf inspiration that they gave her in the show. And then Baylan to go with the Shin Hati that we already had on the channel and did a more in-depth, closer review on. And we've already got some plans laid out about how these are going to fit into the collections and onto the shelves, so it'll be very nice for everybody to get to see what we come up with. But until then, we've got all these to open and to work out the components for and to pose and decide, and it's going to be quite a lot, but it's going to be worth it. So stay tuned and you'll get to see what all happens.
A little bit of the unboxing process. We got the Boba Fett over here and got Loki going over here. Loki's throne. But yeah, it's going to take a little while. 7 figures and all. So here's the progress so far. We got Loki set up. We got the unmasked Boba and the masked Boba over there. Hunter's working on some of the rocket effects. That's what's going. Looking really good. Watching some Star Trek on Pluto.
Hello everyone, it's a quick status update from Mortal Ring Wars on our Hot Toys Extravaganza video.
Yes!
We have got most of them out and displayed in their proper place. I did some rearranging to the DTOF here in order to accommodate all of them, but the top shelf, as you can see, I've pretty much stuck to strictly Ahsoka-based figures. The 2 newest additions on this shelf are the Ahsoka the White, kind of the Gandalf Ahsoka, and the Baylan Skoll in the back there, who is very tall, and because of the length of his arms and legs, it was very hard to fit him in there with the saber elevated to how I wanted it to be. The Shin's fairly new as well, but the other 2 are just more recent, and then the Clone Wars Ahsoka. The White Ahsoka is especially terrific. They gave her a really cool, expressive face option that I've fitted to it. Makes it look like she's mid-action. Yes. Very spot-on face. All kinds of dynamic movement with the fabrics on the clothes. And both her and the Baylan and the Shin all have... Actually, they might all actually have light-up lightsaber features too, but I choose not to fool with them just because they're kind of a pain to set up, and it's not like we're going to be lighting them up very much anyways. But all fantastic figures on this shelf. And then we move down to the middle section, and this is sort of Casey's section.
The mystery lady.
Yeah, there's the newest edition being the Loki on the throne from his series. Also very impressive work with the fabrics.
About the one either.
No, although he probably does those there. Good question. How does he live there? Anyway.
Well, anyway, yeah. That's a can of worms
yeah, I'm not going to go down there. But yeah, we've got the her crow in the back, and then a Gambit and Rogue. The Rogue's a third party, and Gambit's from Sideshow. Rogue is a really cool base, though. That's got the X on it with the green around it. There's a Gambit you can get that goes with it that has a similar purple and black base, but the one we got suits us just fine, and some busts I have in the front from X-Men 97.
You know, that brings an interesting question. Do gods poo?
Yeah. All that and more.
They never show him go running to the bathroom in the
movies. I wasn't even thinking about just poop. I was thinking, how does he even eat?
Well,
does he need to? He just sits, I don't know how it works. I haven't literally thought about any of that until we've just now done this.
Comment below.
Comment below what you think.
How Loki uses the bathroom.
And other human or Asgardian needs. And then finally the bottom, well, second to last shelf. The bottom shelf we sort of moved some of our older 6 scales down to, just to make room for the newer ones. Yes, there's still plenty great ones down on the bottom, but the middle shelf we mainly used to accommodate the X-23 Laura, which is fantastic. Base is nice and big. It included a Juggernaut helmet, which I thought was pretty cool. There's some really cool stuff they do with the sculpted hair, and you get feet claws too you can affix to her. You know, she's very cool, despite, you know, what's otherwise kind of a simplistic costume, you know, compared to, say, the Scarlet Witch back there, which is also magnificent, you know. And then I've relocated Fennec and Bo-Katan were on the top shelf, and I just put them here to make room for the Ahsoka stuff up there. But that's sort of where we're at now. I've also You can
show the light up options too at the top, because our lights need batteries.
Yeah.
It's in them right now. That's why we're...
Yeah, we have, if you look here, we have these little, right here. these little press lights.
It's state of the art, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell you.
But they do what they're, they look great whenever you got them light up and good. When we first got this and set it up, it looks fantastic.
But show the ones you set up tonight on top.
Yeah, I have some lights up here too. Before I go up there, though, I'm going to pan to the right here, because this is where I've set my Boba Fett 2-pack, which is just incredible. The only hassle I had with this 2-pack was that I was unable to fix the whistling birds to his knee pads. They were a pain in the butt to work with.
I'm liking it so much, I don't know if I want you to take it.
Yeah, and the only other thing I had to do, I originally had the rocket shooting out of the back of his jetpack, but to fit on the shelf, it wasn't going to work unless I really positioned him kind of awkward. But yeah, I was able to get the flamethrower on him at least, and the Tamura sculpt on the
and how could you not mention
Tusken
the awesome
one.
picture beside him?
Yeah, Star Wars The Clone Wars picture of the animated characters signed by all 3 of the voice actors.
And they were absolutely amazing.
Some of the most lovely, famous people that I've ever met.
It's on one of our older videos. I'm sure you can.
The story, of course, I like to tell with this. I'll tell it really quick. We go see Ashley. Obviously, she signs her stuff in green. And then we go see James Arnold Taylor, and obviously he signs his stuff in blue. Green and blue lightsabers. So we get to Matt Lanner, who plays Anakin. And, very laid back, just kind of good guy to have a chat with. And we walk up to him real casual. He says, "So guys, what marker color do you want me to sign this in?" And we kind of hesitate for a moment, and I just said, "Would it be wrong to ask you to do it in red?" And he just said, "Actually, I think that's a great idea. Let's do it." So, and very cheekily, I like that he did this. You had to pay extra to have quotes put on the picture. But he very sneakily wrote the beginning of "May the Force be with you" down here, but didn't complete the quote. But so basically, we got a quote from him without actually paying for him. I thought that was a really nice thing of him to do. But yeah, all 3 absolutely lovely people, and they mean a lot to me, especially because Clone Wars came out when I was still in the midst of my childhood, and I remember the early days of tuning into Cartoon Network at 9 p.m. to catch the newest episode, and just very creative show, and it showcased a very neat period of Star Wars history that everybody kind of wondered about for years. So yeah, we were very happy and fortunate we got to meet those guys. But then the bit he's referring to up at the top that I've affixed above the Ahsoka shelf, this 3D printed Aussie neon light I got him for Christmas. I've added
to commemorate Oz's passing.
Yeah, I knew that something like this had to exist, and I went ahead and found one. Apparently, I think it was the last one the seller had listed too, so I was very eager to get my hands on it. And next to our spinning UFO fiber optic back there, a little glow cardinal. It's just a fun...
All about my parents. They were big Cardinal fans. And
yeah.
Not the team, but the animal.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the current layout, what we've got. The only one that remains unopened is my deluxe Spider-Man from No Way Home, which I'm eager to get into, but I've been messing with Hot Toys the last 2.5 hours, I think, so I'm kind of 6-scaled out for the evening.
Ran out of gas, ladies and gentlemen.
As we all do.
But he's had a busy day.
Yes. But yeah, it's coming along great.
The Spotty villains while you're there. I mean, no sense of
not much to it other than it's just this little shelf here with the Marvel Legends for all the only one.
The backdrop's one of the best things about
well, yes, the Accept drumhead signed by all the members.
And oh, look, there's a picture of me with 3
us
members.
With Accept.
We've only not met
Phil, the one guitar player. We got to see Wolf, the Wolf, the original, the founding father, first time, and now we got Mark and Martin and Chris.
Get a chance to see them guys, I go see them.
Yeah, they are a very good group live, and that's coming from somebody who didn't.
Great guys to talk to.
Yeah, but that was a really fun day to get to see them. But yeah, just some of the bits and baubles, neat stuff that we have, But yeah, this is just us checking in, giving everybody a quick little update on where we're at. Things are coming along great.
I'll get this video together and put it out so everybody can see it. And then we'll do an updated collection video as soon as we get all the other figures placed that's out in the main toy room, which is a disaster right now.
Yeah, lots of stuff to integrate into the
Yeah,
pre-existing
I'm
shelves.
having to be very choosy on what I'm getting these days because there's
Just accommodation. There's just
no
the
room.
space is just becoming too much of a challenge. But yep, that's where we stand right now. Final thoughts?
You all showed Dory down there taking a nap.
She's at an awkward
getting
angle.
big.
I don't even know if you can see her proper.
We got the light on.
Well, I know you have the light on, but anywho, stay tuned for more. I'm sure we'll be back. One act of kindness.
Yes.
We always remind everybody, especially today when the world is so cruel and selfish and unforgiving. All kinds of uplifting.
We did it
topics.
to ourselves. Social media was the root of all this. But anyway,
that old commercial.
That's another.
I learned it by watching you.
Yeah. Yeah. But
all right, guys.
Help make a difference in somebody's life this week, people.
Yes, certainly. All the love from Mortal Wing Wars. Take care out there. Another thing I've still been
Give you all guys a shot of the display case.
Well, your lights
All,
is
with
green.
all lit up. Yeah, it is green, isn't it? Why you green, man? There we go. Check it out. Looking good. Crazy H's hitting us. He did a good job posing everybody. But sorry you can't see the bottom shelf. I'm too lazy to get up and look out. Well, I'm too gimpy, not too lazy. But anyway. Aussie sign looking good. That's a red bird on top. And that fiber optic thing's like a UFO. My sister got me. But anyway, that's how they're looking.